Dear parents, with warm greetings, I would like to throw light on the National Education Policy 2020, which was approved by the Union Cabinet of India on 29 July 2020, that outlines the vision of India's new education system. The new policy replaces the previous National Policy on Education 1986. The policy is a comprehensive framework for elementary education to higher education as well as vocational training in both rural and urban India. The policy aims to transform India's education system by 2021. Education policy lays emphasis on the development of the creative potential of each individual. It is based on the principle that education must develop not only cognitive capacities but also social, ethical, and emotional capacities and dispositions. The rich heritage of ancient and eternal Indian knowledge and thought has been a guiding light for this policy. National Education Policy 2020 envisions an Indian centric education system that contributes directly to transforming our nations sustainably into an equitable and vibrant knowledge society by providing high quality education to all. The NEP 2020 enacts numerous changes in India's education policy. It aims to increase state expenditure on education from around 3% to 6% of the GDP as soon as possible. The changes and objectives are languages, school education, higher education, teacher education. But here I'll discuss languages and school education. About languages, the policy raises the importance of mother tongue and regional languages, medium of instruction until class 5 and preferably beyond should be in these languages. Sanskrit and foreign languages will also be given emphasis. The policy also states that no language will be imposed on the students. Shortly after the release of the policy, the government clarified that no one will be forced to study any particular language and that the medium of instruction will not be shifted from English to any regional language. The language policy in NEP is a broad guideline and advisory in nature, and it is up to the states, institutions, and schools to decide on the implementation. The National Educational Policy should be implemented in all schools over India by 2022. About school education, the 10 plus 2 structure will be replaced with 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 model. This will be implemented as follows: foundational stage, preparatory stage, middle stage, secondary stage. In foundational stage, it is further subdivided into two parts. 3 years of preschool and Anganwadi, followed by classes 1 and 2 in primary school. This will cover children of ages 3 to 8 years. The focus of studies will be in activity-based learning. Then preparatory stage, classes 3 to 5, which will cover the ages of 8 to 11 years. It will gradually introduce subjects like speaking, reading, writing, physical education, languages, art, science, and mathematics. Third is middle stage, classes 6 to 8, covering children between ages 11 to 14. It will introduce students to the more abstract concepts in subjects of mathematics, sciences, social sciences, arts, and humanities. Fourth is secondary stage, classes 9 to 12, covering the ages of 14 to 19 years. It is again subdivided into two parts, classes 9 and 10 covering the first phase, while classes 11 and 12 covering the second phase. These 4 years of study are intended to inculcate multidisciplinary study coupled with depth and critical thinking. Multiple options of subjects will be provided. Board exams will be continued to be held for classes 10 and 12 but will be redesigned. Standards for this will be established by an assessment body, PARAK, that is Performance, Assessment, Review and Analysis of Knowledge for Holistic Development. To make them easier, these exams would be conducted twice a year, with students being offered up to 2 attempts. The exam itself would have 2 parts, namely the objective and the descriptive. This policy aims at reducing the curriculum load of students and allowing them to be more interdisciplinary and multilingual. One example given was, if a student wants to pursue fashion studies with physics, or if one wants to learn bakery with chemistry, they'll be allowed to do so. Report cards will be holistic, offering information about the student's skills. Coding will be introduced from class 6 and experiential learning will be adopted. More focus will be given to students' health, particularly mental health, through the deployment of counselors and social workers. Since the purpose of education system is to develop good human beings capable of rational thought and action, possessing compassion and empathy, courage and resilience, scientific temper and creative imagination with sound ethical values. It aims at producing engaged, productive and contributing citizens for building an equitable, inclusive and plural society as envisaged by our Constitution. Hope that with the guidelines of CBSE, we all stakeholders would be able to execute it and help our students to get rid of rote learning and adopt experiential learning. Thank you. Jai Hind.